end of the world. Growing up, I kind of thought that apocalypse movies and dystopian fiction were weird. Wanting to look at explosions and world wars and alien invasions, pandemics that wipe out all but a few chosen ones in the course of 24 hours. Because that's not how it happens, is it? Since I was a kid, it's been one disaster after another. The end of the world in slow motion. Not in 90 minutes, not in 24 hours. Just every year, something we felt certain of is destroyed. The world we understood ended, and a different world began. Last week I asked you to grieve that with me and scream at the sky. You screamed out for things like having no one to hug and for missing your body feeling like your own. You screamed for Black lives and climate change and for loss of trust, for the lack of empathy you see around you. You screamed for time and distance building up like limescale around your relationships. And now we're here. I think grief is this weird pain where some part of you ends, but the rest of you doesn't. And now you have to go on living with that missing piece. You have to go on living in a world that isn't familiar anymore. I think part of the process of grief is redrawing our maps. Figuring out where we are, what's the new shape of things, how we use whatever we have left. I used to really value parts of me like independence and resilience. When I went through the most difficult time in my life a couple years ago, I worked really long hours to distract myself and I gritted my teeth through it and I survived. But I woke up on the other side of an apocalypse, missing the piece of me that can just harden things over and force things through. I find myself more permeable, like I can't shut out anything that's going on around me. I need to stop and feel all of it. And maybe that's what this world needs from me. Maybe that tenderness is how I'm meant to continue. Last week, I asked you to scream at the sky with me. And this week, I'm asking you to help me draw a new map of the world that lies on the other side of our grief. So I want you to send me an image. Something that represents part of you that continues. Maybe the part of you who is still a good friend, or the part of you who takes excellent care of your cat. You could send a color, or a poem, or a photo you love. You could represent the part of you who makes art, or who reads often and with great care. The part of you who is a student, or a parent, or the person who checks on your neighbor. The part of you who learned how to cook, or that takes yourself on a walk even when you don't want to. The part of you who is still here, or the part of you who isn't here yet, but you desperately want to meet. We're going to take these pictures and we're going to make a big collage. I'll post it on the community tab and in the Radish Collective Patreon page and on my Discord, so you can keep it with you as you try to find your way. Thank you for grieving with me, and I'll see you next week. Bye.